Hey everybody, Argent here. So a bunch of people have already asked me, Argent, you got to talk about the DSP thing. You got to talk about DSP becoming engaged, and I agree. It's huge news. It's something I think I have to address. And before we get to that, though, I just want to say, if all of you could pray for my father, please. He's going in to get hip surgery tomorrow. He's been waiting a really long time to get hip surgery, a couple of years actually, and he's really suffering, and hopefully this will improve his quality of life. We don't expect anything bad to happen. It's a very routine surgery. The doctor thinks it's going to be okay, but just your prayers would be appreciated. So, that being said, let's get into the topic at hand. So I think all there is the weekend preview for this week. So this hopefully won't be that long a video. So let's just jump in and start watching it. I'm sure people will show up as we go.
Skip the search and learn what you want. On Udemy.com, choose from over 45,000 video courses taught by experts in technology, business, and personal development. Right now for just $15.
Is the sound not working?
Had like a week
okay,
ago.
there was broken sound. Bugged sound mechanics. Okay, just for people watching this, if you could just tell me if the audio balance is okay. I just can't hear it because then it would reverberate. So yeah, this is going to be, I pre-screened this. This is going to be almost entirely positive. There's going to be a lot of kudos. I just hopefully some people think I'm an uncritical hater. I think I'm pretty nice to DSP compared to a lot of people.
Alright, what is going on everyone? DSP here and welcome to the weekend preview for Sunday, April 9th, 2017. I actually was not expecting to do the weekend preview.
You know, he actually looks a bit like happier than normal. He doesn't look quite as defeated.
Tonight, I was thinking I was going to try to cram it in tomorrow, but it just so happens that Leanna and I, after having a day out today, got home a little bit earlier. I asked her, gee, would it be all right if, I run in the office and try to get this done tonight? She didn't mind, so I said, great, because in particular, ladies and gentlemen, today we got some news. Not only am I going to be covering the upcoming week of gaming for you here in this video, which is obviously very important in the subject matter of the video, but also, of course, all the buzz on social media and everything today. I got engaged. I proposed to Leanna. She accepted. So as of today, officially, we are engaged. And of course, this just led to a bunch of speculation and questions.
You know, just like I said, before anything else happens, look, I don't think DSP is a good person. I think Leanna's an awful person. If you've ever seen her Twitter, she posts like every horrible, like basic bitch YouTube atheist that you can find, is just kind of a snarky bitch. That being said, congratulations. I say that completely seriously. I'm very happy for both of them. I think this is one of the first actually positive things that's happened for a long time in both of their lives. Someone asked how long they've been together. DSP will talk about that. I think it's 5 years now.
Everyone wants me to talk a little bit about it, to give a little bit more detail about how all this went down, and or is there going to be a wedding or whatever, because the bottom line is there's a lot to discuss, okay? I mean, a lot of people, especially when someone like me makes a living not only making YouTube videos, but, things like Patreon, things like right now with the new streaming that I do, where every day people are...
Actually, you know what? We're just gonna, before we get to this, I'm just gonna go and show you Pandalee's Twitter. And I'll say, this is kind of why I dislike her. I think she's like a bad person. And I don't say that to try to take away from them. Okay, let's see here. What a whirlwind the last 24 hours have been. Saw this church sign today. It's comforting to know God has to file taxes like the rest of us. Let's see here. When you've been engaged for 2 hours and you really want chocolate, but instead everyone just likes your photos. What the fuck does that mean? Let's see here. Let's see. We have some anti-Trump posts. We have... These are real texts on my phone. Ungrateful ass people. The world owes them nothing. Big deal. Tweet me from the afterlife. Now that would be impressive. Her Twitter is so fucking bitchy. I'm alive. Let's see here. Group of hunky cardinals appear. Appeal to Pope to relax celibacy requirement. Of course, that's what she shares. She shares something making fun of Alex Jones for being a Christian. Let's see here. Just a sprinkle of Jesus. Condoms don't protect you from spiritually transmitted demons. I want this on my grave. So there we go. There's some more Leanna stuff. This is, yeah. Let's see here. Carpe Diem says the man who spent previous day jerking off in darkened room. That's just, yeah, this is quality Twitter. So then we have some more anti-Trump posts. We have some more like anti-Trump posts. We have some, let's see here. Phil is eating peanut M&Ms unsorted again. Let's see here. Too much time on the internet may lead to an early death study finds. We have all this, yeah, so it's just if you go through it, just a ton of this is just like bitchy stuff. Her attacking Trump, her posting stuff from Secular Talk. Just a lot of unpleasant crap. So yeah, so is DSP a shitlib? He kind of is. He's kind of a libertarian, I guess. He's like socially liberal, economically kind of conservative, but he's kind of un-PC. So that's kind of what happens. Anyways, I can't look at this shit anymore. It's too cringy. So let's see here.
We're tipping and subbing and cheering. And when all that's going on...
Like, honestly, though, I don't think Panda Lee's a bad-looking girl. She's kind of a bit weird-looking. She's not my type, certainly. But I don't think she's really bad-looking, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people say she's bad-looking, but honestly, I just... Yeah. Let me see here. Like, these are all kind of shitty pictures of her. But honestly, Panda Lee's not that bad looking. She's a lot better than he is. Okay, just this is semi-related. Someone's asking me about demonetization on YouTube. Yeah, it's a real pain, because not that many of my videos have been demonetized, but I know that my... ad revenue has fallen from like, I don't know, like $4 a month to like, sorry, $4 a thousand views to like 50 cents a thousand views, and a lot of views aren't counted anymore. Like I was looking at my metrics the other day, and I was like, holy shit, it looks like my views have gone down 50%. But then I looked at the raw score, and I'm actually still going up in terms of the raw score. But yeah, so it's bad. So I don't know, I might open up a tip jar at some point. I was pretty happy with the amount of money I was making off of ads, but like, I'm not going to go full e-bagging, but it would be nice given the amount of time I put into this if I made a couple bucks after it, off of it. But YouTube is making zero money is the thing. Yeah, it's the whole thing's just a mess. Let's just get back to DSP.
When someone says, "Oh, I'm getting engaged," immediately there's going to be people who are going to be critics and say, "Oh my God, well, how are you going to have a wedding? Now you're asking for money now for a wedding? Are you out of your mind?" Or, you know, how did you even a ring or whatever when his income is based off of people basically pledging to him and stuff like that?
Okay, I'm going to defend DSP here. If people are actually criticizing him for buying her a ring, they need to grow up. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can criticize Phil for, having 2 houses, having a BMW he can't afford, buying a lot of the expensive shit he has. If he's buying his girlfriend an engagement ring, I give him a complete pass on that. Some things in life are more important than money, and this is one of them.
We're going to talk about that in this video, or I'm going to answer
that doesn't
your questions
excuse his
because
other bad financial
pretty much
decisions,
every misconception possible is a misconception, and it's pretty matter of fact and simple. All of this. And I think this video will clarify that. I'm not making a separate video about the engagement because the bottom line is I think I can do it all in one video right now and it won't take too long to get through it, honestly. And I didn't want to basically make a whole video about it and make it be a subject matter that I monetize and stuff like that. Like, I just watched WrestleMania last week and the proposal of John Cena to Nikki Bella on WrestleMania, and I'm watching this and I'm like, this is not the point. Like, when you want to have a life union with someone, to blow it out of proportion and make it like an event at a fucking WrestleMania to be monetized and hyped is messed up in my opinion, okay? So I'm going to talk about it literally in this video just to answer people's questions and speculation about it, and then we're going to move on to the schedule, all right? Plus, I got other news. Guess what? New Patreon goal is live. I've updated the current patrons for March. I've got a lot of info on that as well, and we'll get to that all in a moment. Teespring is back. So we'll talk about all this in a second.
I'm just going to say, kind of a side note, I really hate all of this, thing with weddings these days, where you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on, a ring, and then spend, like, tens of thousands of dollars on a wedding and be in debt for the next, like, decade. I really don't like it. I think it's status signaling. I think it's an undue burden on the bride and groom. Honestly, I think weddings should be small, just immediate family only, just like the priest. The priest performs the wedding, they all go out and have a really nice dinner, and then they go on like a normal honeymoon. They don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know. I just think that's fine. As far as rings go, I think rings are important. I hate this whole you have to buy like this super big ring. I don't know. I think like a plain gold or silver band is fine. Maybe I'm just a Scrooge or something like that. I don't know.
All right. But first, let's talk about the elephant in the room, all right? The bottom line is this, folks. Ever since Leanna and I moved across the country from Connecticut to Washington, we had always intended that we were going to eventually, you know, get engaged and then long-term get married. But we wanted to move into a house together first, spend some time together first, make sure that, because we had never lived full time together before. We had always had like a week, a month where she would come visit me in Connecticut, and then she'd go back to her home in Pennsylvania. And let's face it, the condo in Connecticut.
I know I'm not really one to talk, but Phil has the worst t-shirts. Like, look at that. It looks like there's sweat stains on it. It's like the dye's coming out of it. It looks old and ragged. Just buy some I don't know, get some promotion deal, and yeah, I don't know.
It's far too small to have two people living in it. In particular, now, think about now, how on earth could the two of us ever live in that condo in Connecticut? I have my own business. She has her own business, right? Just that, there was no way we would have fit two businesses in this tiny little condo in Connecticut. So once we realized when we moved across the country, we lived together, we got our own things going, then we were going to look towards the future, okay? And truth be told, folks, this is the God's honest truth. I've had the ring for a while. I had the ring for quite a long while. We've been having discussions about this for a while, that what we wanted to do was move to Washington, get settled into the home. Then what we wanted to do was take a trip to California. And while we were in California and doing things like see the Hollywood Walk of Fame, go to Universal Studios, check out Disneyland, at some point during that trip, I would propose to her. Like, this was the plan that we had had all along for this. And as you guys and gals know, sadly, life doesn't always work out like you plan it. Like, we have not been able to go on a trip at all because of all the financial difficulties that I've had. I just finished doing my taxes this week.
Okay, so here's the question. Do we believe DSP or not? Like, is he telling the truth here? Did he actually intend to go to California and propose to Pandali there? I mean, is that a real story? Is that just something he made up? I mean, it sounds possible, but The problem is he lies about everything. I mean, if this was the case, that would explain why he's been begging for so long to go on the trip to California. Like, he keeps talking about needing to go to California. So, I mean, if that was the plan, that he was going to go to California and ask her, I guess that makes a little more sense. The whole thing sounds kind of a bit weird to me. I know a friend of mine went on a trip with his girlfriend to Italy, and he proposed to her there. So, like, I think they were intending to get engaged, but they were going on this trip, so they thought, well, maybe we'll just go, I'll propose to her at the Mediterranean Sea, and it'll be all nice and romantic. So, yeah, I don't really know. It's an interesting question. Whether or not he's lying, the problem is this is the problem when you lie about everything. People don't believe you. So, I'd like to believe him. I mean, because this sounds more plausible than a lot of things he says, but yeah.
Okay. To give you guys and gals some perspective, because I posted this up on my Twitter, but I know a lot of people don't believe it. From the time when I moved to Washington to now, 3 years have passed. My income doing this job has declined by 40%.
I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe that it declined by 40%. I mean, he's getting, if we go by his Patreon, now it's hard because he lies about his Patreon. He claims he gets $1,400 a month. The official thing says $1,200 a month. So let's say he gets $1,300 a month. So he makes like 16 grand a year off of Patreon. So we're supposed to believe that it's declined by 60%, despite the fact that he gets at least like 16 grand a year in donations. Okay.
I'm only making 60% of what I was making when I moved out here. All right. Why? What happened? Well, you could run through the gamut of stuff. YouTube completely changing their algorithms on how videos get shown in related videos, so that my videos, which were shorter, got screwed over, while people who made longer videos and had longer engagement stats got prominence. That
yes,
was
I know he's
thing.
talking about ad revenue,
Tons
but he
of
says
false copyright strikes against my channels in the year of 2015, which forced me to delete all my pre-stream videos that had fan art and stuff in them, because YouTube could not prevent them from getting copyright stricken. Even though I had set them to private, they were still getting hit with copyright strikes.
Okay, I'm actually going to say, my understanding of what happened with the false copyright strikes was Phil was using fan art. I think a former fan of his who had posted fan art on his forum with the understanding that it would be used in his pre-stream. And then after Project 7 was canceled and flagged all of his videos in which the images were used. So yeah, he went through and flagged all of them. And so DSP's channel just kind of progressively got shut down more and more because of the copyright strikes against him. And he panicked. And once again, we don't know how accurate this is, but he claims Machinima and YouTube told him to delete all the videos with copyright content in it. Apparently he tried to private them, but they were getting flagged anyways. So what YouTube says is if you get 3 copyright strikes, they'll delete your channel. I think he was scared that if these things kept going, then they were going to delete his channel. All like 30,000 of his videos were going to be gone. And his entire livelihood would disappear overnight. So he panicked and deleted a bunch of like all his pre-stream videos. He wound up losing millions of views, and he dropped out of YouTube search. Now, I actually take his side on this thing. I think it is stupid that you lose views when you delete videos. I also think it's stupid that if you delete videos, it lowers your search ranking. I mean, you have... The views happened. Your channel got the views, so what if you delete them? It still shows that people were interested in something you did on your channel. So I actually take his side on this. I think...
Yeah, it's preposterous, I know. I had to delete them, and when I deleted them, it drove my channel out of search rankings on YouTube completely. So
I agree with
DSP
him on
that
this.
was making this much money, all of a sudden didn't show up in search rankings anymore, and this giant chunk of viewers who used to watch all my videos on DSP Gaming because they would see related videos, or they would see it through YouTube search, never found my videos ever again. So literally in the year 2015, my business went from being a big YouTube channel that a lot of gamers from all over the world watch the videos for new playthroughs of to, well, only the small hardcore fan base watch Phil's videos now because no one else could find my videos in YouTube search. It sucked.
Okay, once again, YouTube search is shit. Like, I think Phil has blamed YouTube too much for his own ineptitude, but let's be fair here. YouTube search is shit. The way YouTube keeps changing the interface is shit. The way it suggests things is shit. I mean, there's a lot of problems here. Okay, so people are asking what Project 7 is. Okay, so very briefly, I think it was 2011, back when Phil had friends. John Rambo Howard and Respect the Pack, who was like a professional film student, got together to make Project 7. Project 7 was something Phil had initially done on his own, which was about this guy with a mask named Deathface, who is one of his detractors, had locked him into his house and forced him to play a shitty game. So the reboot of Project 7 was 3 episodes with John Rambo Howard and Respect the Pack, and there was special effects, there was like scripting, there was editing, etc. I actually unironically like Project 7. I thought Project 7 was hilarious. Like, just how lame it was. Like, it was just kind of awesomely lame. I really enjoy it, actually. Maybe I'll do a Let's Endure of it sometime. But, yeah, I really enjoyed I like Project 7. So, basically, what happened with Project 7 is Phil had it on his channel. It got hundreds of thousands of views. Phil made tens of thousands of dollars off of it. And the project collapsed because Phil refused to share the money. So, Project 7, they made 3 episodes. They're making tons of money, big buzz. Phil was rolling in dough, and he spent all the money to buy a what's it called? A BMW, and he didn't give any of his friends any money. So, yeah, that's what happened. So then Phil was like, okay, I'm going to reboot Project 7 if I get a certain amount of money on Patreon. So he's like, for every month on Patreon that I get over 14 grand, I'm going to take 2 streams off to work on Project 7. So he was getting paid $1,400 to work 1 day on Project 7 a month. So he got that for like 8 months. So he got like 13 grand. And after that happened, he just announced one day, the planets have aligned, and they're telling me, don't do Project 7. So he's just like, we're not going to do Project 7. All he needed to do was make a teaser trailer. He refused to make a teaser trailer. He refused to make 1 episode, despite getting paid like $12,000 for it. And in the aftermath of that, that's when things really started to go to shit.
Absolutely, positively awful. The fact that happened, and it really did cripple the business. Now, last year, 2016, was a relatively good year, but halfway through the year,
awful.
All of a sudden, YouTube changed their algorithm again, and all of a sudden, half my views weren't counting anymore. So I went from having like this many views to this many views within a month, with no explanation.
Okay, the reason why his views collapsed last year was, I mean, there's a couple reasons for it. Like, one of the big things you have to keep in mind was Phil had taken a bunch of money and he was playing Persona 3. And he said, okay, I'm going to do Persona 3. It's going to be a full playthrough. I'm going to play Persona 3 to the end. Now, I'm playing Persona 3. I just finished Persona 4. Those games are super long. Persona 3, I think, was like 80 hours for him because he sucks at video games, so it takes him longer. So he did like an 80-hour game. It was like 140 parts. And then on the last boss like fucked him over, and he rage quit on the last boss and refused to retry it. So he did like an 80-hour playthrough. He couldn't just fight the last boss again. So he rage quit, and he lost a lot of his fan base over that. Completely understandable.
And of course, YouTube didn't want to say that they changed anything, even though it was apparent that they did. And then, after all that going on, right, now we've got ad revenue on YouTube plummeting because YouTube's advertisers have pulled out because they're like, number one, you're putting our advertisements on videos that are racist or terrorist or things that we don't want our companies associated with. And number two, and quite honestly,
Now, who would try to monetize racist, bigoted hater videos? I mean, what kind of a person would try to monetize that sort of thing? Whoever here is attempting to monetize videos like that should be ashamed of themselves.
I really do feel this is the underlying reason that the advertisers don't want to admit, is that they don't feel that their advertisements are effective. Because when you pay to get your advertisement on YouTube, your advertisement can end up on any kind of video. So let's say, for example, there's a YouTuber who's known for making gameplay videos, but primarily it's for younger audiences. It's stupid potty humor, it's scripted humor, it's dumb kitty shit. Do you want to see an Allstate car insurance ad on that video? No, because the common viewer of that is probably from the age range of 8 years old to maybe like 16. No one who's thinking about buying car insurance, yet that's the advertisement that's showing on that person's video. Of course, Allstate isn't selling any insurance because of that advertisement, and then it's just the straw that breaks the camel's back when you look at this and you're like, Mom, my advertisement for my company are showing up on a video of a guy saying racist stuff or terrorist stuff for the entire video.
Who would put ads on a video saying racist stuff? I mean, what sort of a person would do something like that? What sort of a person would put it on radical political stuff? I mean,
of course the advertisers are going to pull out. So literally, from the year 2014 when I moved here to Washington to now, my business has gone like this on YouTube. At least DSP Gaming has gone like this, and it's literally stuff that I couldn't control. It would be one thing if it was like, oh, well, I said something offensive and everyone got turned off and stopped watching, or I refused to change. It's the opposite. My videos, if anything, if you've been watching, have improved in quality on YouTube. Better sound quality, better visual quality, more paying attention to the game and doing directly what people were telling me to do to be successful on YouTube, and none of it has worked because of all the stuff that's fucked up that has happened to me in the past 3 years. So, only making 60% of what I used to when I moved here, that's why I'm in such dire financial straits, okay? And the bottom line is, literally, since we moved here, we were like, we're going to go to California, don't worry, we're going to make it work. And then the next thing would fucking happen and screw us over. I'm like, all right, don't worry, we're going to find a way to recover from this, we're going to make it work. And then the next thing would happen. And literally, it's just be a snowball effect of things that delay to the point where we're like, I've had this ring sitting around, and what are we going to do? Are we going to wait forever? Because right now, I'll be honest with everyone, right now, the way things are looking good, meaning right now with the streaming, the changes that I've made, I'm making way more money on Twitch than I was before. The YouTube thing is much lower than it was, making money on YouTube, but it looks like combining Twitch income with YouTube income should be enough to pay the bills coming up in the next few months. I'm nervous right now because April things are really tight, but come May, June, if things keep going as well as they're going on Twitch, then it looks like we should be okay, all right? But that being said, we're in no situation here where we can start planning trips. Right? There's no way. We have no money. I mean, it would have to, again, be something that I put on a credit card. Forget it. So, that's why, a lot of people say, damn, doesn't Phil and Leanna, how long have they been together? 5 years. We actually started dating in early 2012. So, for 5 years, we've been dating, all right? And
I mean, couldn't he have gotten something, like, a bit nicer? I mean, like, that's cheap but nice. Like, let me just see here. Let me just see. How much would just a nice plain silver ring cost? Let's see here. Something like that. I don't know. I think that looks better. Just, let's see here. Maybe like that. Plain... Oh, no, those are tungsten or titanium. Yeah, I don't know. I think that looks nice. I think it looks, like, classier than what he got her. I don't know. If you don't have any money, just get, like, a nice plain silver ring. Or, let's see, a plain gold ring. I don't know. Maybe I might just be a cheap Scrooge. That's probable, to be perfectly honest. That's just me, though.
you know, we really wanted to get engaged up until, you know, for years. And literally all this stuff behind the scenes fucking me over with the business has prevented this from happening. Now, that's the thing. People don't realize, oh, Phil's just making shit up, and Phil, you know, that's really not a negative impact on him. Those false copyright strikes didn't really affect him. They literally have fucked my life up to the point where I couldn't even get engaged to my longtime girlfriend because of it, okay? That's how messed up everything is. It's just people who think that it's funny to do this shit, and it is completely illegal, but because it's on the internet, and I can't get to them or have any kind of retribution or protection against me or a way to get back at them, it's fine, right? It's just a joke. It was a funny joke, right? And they'll try to justify it as well morally. Oh, well, it was because that month Phil promised he was going to make a fucking trailer for Project 7. He didn't do it, so he didn't come through, so therefore I'm just going to completely fuck his life over, destroy his ad or his revenue income with false copyright strikes. It's all justified, right? Fucking fuck you. Seriously. Because that's mental illness, that line of thinking.
I mean, Phil is an asshole, and Phil obviously probably is like has Asperger's or something. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, someone didn't come through on a Patreon goal that they wanted to come through on, but it didn't work out. Let me completely destroy their life and their business. Wow, you're smart. Like, you really, really stuck it to me. No, what you did is you fucked my life over.
Yeah,
you put my life on hold for 3 fucking years here, where I've been trying to fucking be able to do things to advance my life, and I haven't been able to do it.
No,
all right. So congratulations, you
right.
scumbags of the earth.
I agree.
You were successful in basically fucking me over for a long time.
I mean, fair is fair.
So it finally has gotten to the point, all right, where we're looking at our finances and we're like, well, things may turn around in 2017 now. I'm feeling positive. I'm doing better stuff on my streams. You know, Leanna is working at her job and still has her own business going. And we're like, at this point, there's no definitive time where we can look and say we're going to be able to go on a trip and do the big proposal like I wanted to. So we just did it. We were just like, enough. Enough is enough. How long are we going to wait? Because who knows? Literally every time when we were about to start planning this trip, something else would happen. And it would screw us.
The planets aligned. They told me not to get a game.
Right. So I proposed. She accepted. Great. Right. Good news. Now, in regards to a wedding, it's not happening. At least no time soon at all. We're not even in any kind of planning stage for a wedding. We just wanted to get the engagement over with because we've been delaying it for so damn long. How can we possibly plan a wedding when I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to pay my bills this month? Not going to happen, okay? So the wedding, you know, I know some people, oh, Phil, we're going to start planning that wedding. No, not going to happen. And we're being logical adults about this. We've talked it out. We would love to get married right now. We can't. Not possible. And plus, it would be incredibly irresponsible because right now I'm in so much debt, right? I'm in so much debt right now. 2 mortgages.
You know what? Part of the thing with Phil is, like, I went back and I watched his Heavy Rain playthrough because I wanted to see, like, what he was like at his best. And he was funny. He was engaged with the game. He was cracking, like, good jokes. I mean, it's really sad. Like, I remember when he's playing Heavy Rain, he would have segments, like, at the end of the day where he'd talk about the evidence. He'd be like, oh, I think this is the killer because of this. And he was, like, engaged and enjoying it. Now, whenever he plays a video game, it's like he's fucking, he's fucking dying. Like, it's horrible to watch. And I actually think his reviews are good, to be honest. I actually unironically enjoy his KO Gaming reviews. They're actually normally pretty good. So someone's saying in the chat, why are they paying money for an expensive wedding? Why don't they just go and get married? And I think that's true. And I thought that, but he provides a really good reason.
Credit cards, business loans, all this shit. What if something were to happen to me? God forbid. You know, I'm in good health here. I don't think that anything's going to happen. I don't, you know, no lingering health problems or whatever. But
I'm in good health here. I'm in good health here. I don't think any health stuff is going to happen. Phil is an awful.
What could happen, right? What if I were to pass away right after we get married? How is she going to pay all that debt?
I mean, he's Italian and I'm Anglo-German. And my skin is way more tan than his. I mean, like, he's Italian. He's like Sicilian. His skin shouldn't be this pasty. He looks like he's like 20 years older
than he is. That would be incredibly irresponsible and fucked up of us. Or
Look at him.
Me to put her
He
and
looks
burn it
like
on
he's
her.
50.
So no, there's no plan right now at all to get married anytime soon until I can get myself somehow out of this financial hole. So I'm hoping that things turn, you know, towards the positive.
Well,
Right now they are turning towards that way. So again, if you are someone who has pledged to my Patreon recently, or is a long time pledging,
I mean, I go outside.
watches my videos on YouTube,
I like to
or
go
in
out and
particular
walk in the
recently,
sun.
those who have been coming to my daily streams on Twitch and cheering and tipping me and subbing, you are helping me turn this shit around. I literally, there's so many YouTubers right now coming out making videos saying, well, the YouTube party is over, folks, because ad revenue on YouTube has plummeted since all these advertisers pulled out. I can't do YouTube for a living anymore. I quit. I'm going to go do something else. All these YouTubers are coming out doing this.
I mean, seriously, like, to get this sick, like, not even just pale, like, some people just have fair skin, but to get, like, this sickly paler. I'm inside most of the time. I work inside. I don't really play any sports, but I do normally go for a walk every day, and I'm outside enough that I get a tan on my skin.
Or they're saying pledge to their Patreon.
Yeah.
At least me, I went to Twitch. I proactively have done changes. The changes are working. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You have no idea. I'm so hopeful for the future now that if we can keep this
His
up,
head
this
is
level
so
of
weirdly
people coming out and
shaped.
engaging and me doing this different kind of streaming every day, that hopefully it will grow. My channel will grow and I will have more people doing it, and exponentially, maybe by the end of this year, right? Maybe by the end of this year, if I could like have really increased attendance on the streams and increased amount of people who are doing this, I could actually make more money for once than I have been doing. So now I can start to pay down all this debt that I've accrued in the past 3 years when my income decreased by 40%. And maybe within the next couple of years, maybe if I'm out of the debt, or we're in a good sign, maybe I can refinance my house and put some of the debt into it, then maybe I can actually get married, all right? But there's no possible way that we can even think about it.
Okay, I've been saying this for years. Well, not for years, but since I started doing this. Phil, you said your house has gone up 50% in value, which I believe because the housing market's crazy, especially major cities. You paid 125 grand, 250,000 grand for your house. So it's worth, what, like 375 now? So sell your house. You can pay off the mortgage here. You can pay off the mortgage on your condo. You can probably pay off most of your business and credit card debt. And then you can move into a more modest place, maybe a bungalow or like a two bedroom apartment. And then that'll dramatically reduce your bills per month. That'll dramatically decrease your debt, and you'll have a lot more breathing room to start trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do. But he won't do that right because that's too
last
obvious.
lingering question, the ring. Because everyone's posting, wow, congratulations, that ring looks great. One person said the ring looks like it cost over $1,000. And then, of course, you've got the assholes. Oh, my God, if Phil had money for an engagement ring, that means he doesn't need anyone's money. He doesn't need Patreon. He doesn't need cheers or subs, or he's been lying all along. And therefore, everyone, fuck him. Let's all make these controversial videos about it on the internet slandering Phil. Fuck you yet again. Because
who would make a controversial video on the internet slandering Phil? What kind of person would do something like that?
I'm so tired of the bullshit. I mean, you gotta be a dumb, immature moron to say something like that. Like, how ignorant can you be? Number one, because I'm engaged doesn't mean that I'm spending money on a wedding, which I just said I can't do. Number two, are you a fucking ring maker? Do you know what I mean? I saw a picture on Phil's Instagram that he got engaged. I saw the ring. Man, that must be thousands of dollars. Wrong. That ring, guess what? It's a ring that Leanna and I picked out together. She actually knew there was no way possible that we could afford an expensive wedding ring, or excuse me, engagement ring. But she wanted to get engaged, so she looked online. Keep in mind, she's into artsy stuff. She's into Etsy. She's into all this other stuff. She looked up online. She found a lot of rings that she liked. She narrowed it down to a few selections, gave me the list, and I personally chose the one that I wanted to get for her. And it didn't cost a lot of money. Guess how much it cost? A couple $100, honestly. And that was it. And that was spent a long time ago as well. That was, like I said, I had this ring for a while, lingering, hoping that things will turn around with the business.
Okay, so if that was true, that would actually be kind of cute. Like, you got the couple, neither of them are that like wealthy. They pick out a ring they both agree upon. That's kind of cute. But he probably made that up.
So that we could go on this trip and I could propose in a big, nice, fancy way on a nice trip. Didn't happen, okay? And bottom line is, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired of putting my life on hold because people fucked me over, YouTube fucked me over, everyone fucked me over.
Everybody
At this point,
did.
I'm done.
None of it
I'm
was your
grab life
fault.
by the fucking balls.
None of it.
And push forward with positivity and doing things that I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, how long can you linger and wait and say, I'm just going to wait and wait and wait. Oh, look, another thing fucked me over. Well, I'll just wait and wait and wait. Forget it, man.
Forget it.
And you get fed up. So at a certain point, you're like, I can't wait anymore.
That's what John Rambo said after you... No,
So
he
the
paid
good news
Rambo.
is,
That's true.
Leanna and I are engaged. We are happy, right? Our life here are hoping that it will improve as our businesses improve. You know, she's working hard making money. I'm working hard making money. My business looks like it is going to turn around and start to increase now, which is good. You know, knock on wood, because for a month, the whole month of March, it did. Let's hope that it keeps on that trend, because if it stagnates or goes down now, I'm screwed. So knock on wood again. Thank you so much to those who are coming out on the streams and participating, to those who are pledging on Patreon. Those who are, by the way, Teespring as well. Because I do want to say, this past week, I barely mentioned Teespring, and immediately Teespring sales plummeted. I reopened the store last weekend, I got a spike, and then went into the crapper because I didn't add any new products or whatever. And that's on me. Me not having enough time or taking enough time to promote Teespring or talk about it. The shirts are awesome. I love the quality of the shirts. I've been wearing the shirts on my streams. If you haven't seen, this mug is from Teespring, and I make a significant amount of profit from every sale there.
He
So
does.
please,
He
if you
makes a
haven't, check out
significant amount of
Teespring.
profit.
That's a way you can help. This is a way you can help. Watching the videos obviously is okay. Unfortunately, it's not the best way to support me anymore because YouTube ad revenue has fallen out. But come...
Okay, just people in the chat are talking about Phil getting a job. Okay, the reason why Phil can't get a job is if he went and got a job, he'd probably have to get a shitty job. Like a part-time job, like minimum wage. Phil makes more probably like on his Patreon alone than he would at a minimum wage job, to be perfectly honest, if he worked full-time. That's how shitty the bottom of the pay scale is. He can't go and get like a proper office job at this moment, so yeah, there's really nothing
coming to the
do.
streams and cheering and tipping and subbing. That's what's helping me, and that is tremendously positive. If I can keep this going, maybe, like I said, maybe in a year or two, if I can make my Twitch channel explode and I get a steady viewer base and increased viewers of people who are doing this stuff, and maybe I can turn it around in 1 or 2 years, maybe we can get married. I'd love to, I want to, but I can't right now. It's just not feasible. It's not for the... Just doing it right now with the amount of debt in my name would be unfair to her, and we can't afford it. Okay, that's the God's honest truth on all of it. All right. So that's what happened today. Now it's out there, all the information you ever wanted. Let the slandering idiots who probably slandered me all day, making shit up about how I can't afford it and how could I buy the ring that was thousands of dollars. Let them all look fucking stupid as shit now, because that's all they are anyway. Drama queens who just want to spin shit negatively. Whatever. I'm not even going to talk about this kind of negative shit ever again. I'm just going to move forward now with the positivity like I've been doing recently.
Okay, everybody, I want you to timestamp this. I want to timestamp this. DSP said he's never going to talk about negative shit again. Okay, so people are saying what I was thinking. Just go to the courthouse, go to City Hall, sign the fucking papers, and wife the girl. Now, Phil is going to give the only rational reason to not get married I've ever heard.
You notice recently I haven't been mentioning any of the negative shit that people say about me because I don't give a fuck. I'm just focusing on the streams every day. I'm having so much fun doing it, man.
No,
seriously, I'm having so much fun with these new streams and the new attitude. So I just don't care about the negative shit around me anymore. And the bottom line is, when I see Twitch numbers going up, why should I be negative? And why should I even give a fuck about what one of these idiots says? I don't care anymore.
Okay, I just want to, I want to pause for a second. I just want to ask you guys in the chat. When I do these live streams, do I sound like I'm enjoying them? Do I sound like I'm having fun? Does it sound like it's something that I like? I just want to ask people in the chat, because does this man, like, if you've ever seen him, does he sound like he's enjoying himself? Like, at all? Does he sound like he's having any fun? Like, he just does this for money. It's very clear. Like, I find this, like, a lot of fun. Just to come, yeah, people are saying, yeah, it sounds like you enjoy it. Yeah, like, it's, and I think that's part of the reason why Phil's such a fuck up. Is he clearly doesn't like what he's doing, and that rubs off. I mean, I find with a lot of movies, even if there's like a really bad movie, sometimes you can tell the actors are having a lot of fun. like they enjoyed making the movie, and that kind of shines through with a bit of charm. But
so there you have it, folks. All right, now let's talk about this week, because this week there's a lot of stuff. We've got continuing playthroughs. We've got a brand new playthrough. Sadly, it looks like we've got a playthrough that's probably going to end up going on hold against my will. All right. So let's talk. First of all, this past week, what have you seen? You've seen the premiere of Persona 5.
I think he talks
which
about
has been
this a
pretty
little
good.
more.
People really are enjoying the game, watching the streams in
I
particular.
really want to
People
play
really liking
Persona
it.
5.
YouTube videos are doing okay. They're not doing
But I don't have a
amazing, but they're not doing
PS4.
terrible. They're doing okay, which I kind of expected for a JRPG. Let's be honest here. So that's good, right? I did return to Mass Effect Andromeda yesterday, and that is going to be added now to the rotation. So you're going to see more Mass Effect Andromeda.
Who wants to see
more
Mass
often
Effect
after going on
Andromeda?
that 2-week hiatus.
Actually, you know what? I might actually unironically try to watch his Mass Effect Andromeda, because you have one of the shittiest games in years with one of the shittiest Let's Players. This could be, like, awesome. Okay, someone says P5 is on PS3 as well. Okay. Yeah. I don't have a PS3 either. As for Switch, I'll buy a Switch when Persona 5 comes out.
It's coming back, all right. Danganronpa is
I
on
love
hold
Persona.
and remains on hold. There's
I like
no way
SMP
I can play
in general.
Danganronpa while I'm also playing Persona 5, but we're going to talk about that in a moment because it looks like Persona 5 won't be going on forever. And then this week, Yooka-Laylee is starting. Yooka-Laylee, the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, is releasing on Tuesday, and I am going to be streaming that, but I'm very curious to see how that's going to turn out.
Honestly, when I was on Beckloff's stream, they were talking about Yooka-Laylee, and they just said that they were saying that they'd never buy it, they'd never play it because of the way they treated JonTron. And I agree.
Now, will people actually turn out to a stream to watch
That was
a platformer
disgusting.
like that? Or is it going to be something that people watch once and then it fizzles
pissed
out
me
and they're
off.
bored and they want me to go back to, say, Persona 5 or Mass Effect Andromeda? I'm very interested to see what happens with that, okay? So how
Mass
is this
Effect
week gonna
Andromeda
go? Here we
looks
go. Let me
awful.
explain. Tomorrow, I'm doing 2 gameplay streams, all right?
Okay.
One at 11 a.m. Pacific time, one at 7 p.m. Pacific time, excuse me. What are they going to be? You decide. Right now on my Twitter, posted up on my profile is a poll. Either Mass Effect Andromeda or Persona 5. Whatever you vote for the most will be the first stream. Whatever loses the poll will be the second stream.
Okay,
So
we have, you can either watch him play one of the worst games made in recent years or one of the best games made in recent years. It's your choice. And honestly, given how bad Phil is, I mean, and this is another kind of the problem that I have with a lot of Let's Players, is they just aren't interesting people. Like you're playing a game. I think like you should talk about. It's good if you can talk about something. Like you can talk about like you're playing a horror game. You talk about the horror genre. You're playing Resident Evil, you talk about the history of Resident Evil, you make comparisons to other Resident Evils. The only thing that actually really happened with DSP is he's just like, oh look, there's a rock. Oh look, that looks like shit. Ha ha ha. It's
games tomorrow, but the order is dependent on what you vote, okay? Tuesday, I'm going to be playing Yooka-Laylee all day. It's the new release. I want to kind of immerse myself in it and see how far I can get it. Thank God I actually played Banjo-Kazooie last year because I had no, actual experience with the franchise until I did that last year. So that's awesome that the patrons voted that.
I've never
for
played
last year.
Banjo-Kazooie. DK64 basically platformed me
So
out.
Yooka-Laylee all day Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be directly dependent on the feedback that I receive from my viewing audience. If people are like, man, I really like Yooka-Laylee, keep it going, we'll do that. If people are like, man, I really wish Phil would go back to Persona 5, or man, what happened to Mass Effect Andromeda?
Okay, maybe it's not in this video. The reason DSP says he doesn't just marry Leanna at City Hall is because apparently if he marries her and he dies, then she inherits his debt. But if they're engaged and he dies, she doesn't inherit his debt.
I'll go back to those. I'll balance the days because I am going to be doing double streams, okay, all week. So this week will be an insane amount of new gameplay for you, insane amount of streaming for you. So if you're into the new style and you're liking the new gameplay that I'm doing and the way that it's interactive with the streams and you're liking it, good news. Or if you're into new games, you want to see me play the hot new games, good news. This whole week is dedicated to it, all right? So it's going to be an awesome week. All new stuff all week long, okay? In regards to a few things. Number one, Persona 5. If you're not aware, I wasn't even aware of this last week. Now I'm aware of it. Atlas will not allow anyone to play Persona 5. How that will change. Maybe they'll have a change of heart, and within a month they'll say, okay, well, now the game's out in a month, and most people have gotten past that point. Now you can go past that point. Reaching that point in the game, and questions, if you want to be in on this episode of Ask the King, post them up on the King. It's Danganronpa, right? Yes, but if you're not aware, a couple bucks per video on KO Gaming versus I can actually do streams where people are going to come out and participate, and you know, it's going to be more financially feasible for me to keep doing this for a living.
Okay, guys, this is just unbearably boring. So I'm gonna just end this in a bit because I don't have a ton else out to say. But before I go, let's just take a look at the King of Hate's website. So this is Phil's website, which is honestly like the shittiest website I've ever seen. I mean, look at this. Look how bad this looks. You got this fucking Dark Souls ripoff picture. Like, I'm trying to scroll down. It doesn't even look like that's the whole picture. Like, what is this? And then we have this awful, like, look, this isn't centered. This is just, oh. Like, I've done some website stuff for work. And I have no experience making websites. I suck at HTML. I have the bare minimum of it. But if you just go on to Jimdo or Squarespace or WordPress, in like a couple hours, you can build something that looks like God compared to this. This is just like, this is awful. This is embarrassing. Like, it would be better to not have a website. Like, you don't need HTML. Just go on like a drag and drop builder. People don't, I don't think most businesses even hand code websites anymore. You just go like get a Jimdo site for like 15 bucks a month, do drag and drop, it'll be fine. But people who run businesses don't think that way. And then we have this awful Patreon. Let's see, what was his goal? Patron's Choice playthrough. Wow, okay. That's going to be great. Let's see here. It's so bad. It's the worst. And we'll finish off by looking at DSP's Teespring. Now, I've said in the past, and I'll continue to say it, if DSP makes a Nothing I Can Do t-shirt, I will buy it. If he does a Nothing I Can Do, or It Is What It Is t-shirt, I will buy it. So, here's like his t-shirts are the worst. They're like the worst things I've ever seen. Let's just look at these. Okay, that looks like someone vomited. I mean, look at this. It looks like someone vomited. I mean, I suck at graphic design, but who would want to buy this? Like, who would look at this and go, that looks... Like, I can't even read it. I can't even tell that says DSP. Like, and my eyesight's not that bad. There's a Nothing I Can Do t-shirt? Oh, no, there isn't. Okay, if there was a Nothing I Can Do t-shirt, I'd get that. Okay, good, better, fucking bullshit. Like, I don't even get it. It doesn't, it's not funny. It doesn't even make sense. Whoa, dude. That just looks lame. Glitchy. Is this a reference to something? I don't get it. Maybe someone could explain it to me. I don't understand what the joke is here. Okay, then we have the DSP as Big Boss. And honestly, this makes me physically ill just looking at it. This thing looks awful. Okay, let's see here. This one looks even worse. Oh my god, look at that. Oh. Oh. Look at that. That's the hardest one to read yet. This stuff is awful. Okay, so this is the one that people are actually buying. And admittedly, this actually doesn't look that bad, to be perfectly honest. I think this one actually doesn't look bad. My issue with it is this isn't what DSP's logo looks like. There's no significance to this. This is just something somebody came up with. What does this have to do with DSP? Nothing. I mean, it's not a bad-looking design. It just has nothing to do with him. The I'm pressing buttons shirt also looks like shit. Like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm stupid. Like, I just don't get a lot of these. That doesn't look too bad, actually. Look at that. What the fuck? Oh my god. They couldn't even get black mugs. They took, like, the design and they pasted it on a white mug. It looks so shitty. Like how shitty that looks. Oh my god. And then look at this. He just took the dark side from Dark Souls. They just stole it. Copied and pasted it. They just copied and pasted it. Like, look at this. Like, it's not even like transformative. It's just a ripoff. Who wants a watermelon pillow? Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Okay, like there's worse shit. Like, you haven't seen anything yet. I think there's some worse stuff. Okay, this one also looks bad. Like who is gonna wear something like that's pink? Is that like a girl's t-shirt? He has said I'm pressing buttons before. Yes, he says that a lot. I just mean the specific design looked like crap. I mean, this is awful. Okay, now this is, I think, the worst one. The many faces of DSP. Him wearing the cowboy hat and him with, like, the night guard or whatever. I mean, it's the many faces, but there's only two faces. I mean, like, this looks awful. This is the worst. Oh my god. Then we have the WoW dude. Then we have the gray one. All of these logos look like shit. Oh my god. Okay, and that's all he has. This is his store. And we'll finish off with this. These are the worst. These are... these are awful. These are the worst. And I'm not just doing this to just because I hate DSP. I'm just, like, these... I'm not joking. I'm not just doing this just to make fun of him. I mean, these are literally this bad. Like, this doesn't even look like it's photoshopped properly. Like, you can see there's, like, the folds in the shirt and the... Okay, let me just zoom in and see if I can explain what I'm talking about. Okay. There's folds in the shirt, but the images on the shirt aren't folded. So, like, if you can see my mouse... Does it show my mouse? I don't know. Just look in the bottom right-hand corner. You have that... Yeah, okay, you can see my mouse. You have this cowboy hat, and the shirt's clearly folded, but the actual image isn't folded. So, yeah, I mean, so, yeah, this is... They just literally took this image and did an overlay. Like, it's like, these don't even look like... Wait a minute. Look at that. Okay, look at the hair in the upper right-hand corner of the hair. It's obvious that this was cut wrong. Like, look at that. That's awful. Look at that. He couldn't even Photoshop it properly. Yeah, DSP just used the Dark Souls thing as his t-shirt. Oh, that is vomit inducing. Now, like, to be fair, I actually don't think the skull looks that bad. I actually think that looks okay. That's not bad at all. I'm okay with that one. That is okay, but it's still just, oh. He just dragged an image over a t-shirt. He did. I think that might just be how Teespring works. It's just, yeah, I think that's how it always works. Go to the Wow Dude hat. It's so bad. It's so bad. Whoa, dude. Apparently he says this. I can't remember him saying this, but apparently he says this a lot. Oh my god. That's literally just something typed out. Wow, dude. That looks disgusting. This man needs to shave. That's gross. Like, oh. Big pause. Zero effort. I mean, punish DSP. What does that mean? By Sunny Hay. Sunny Hay must hate him. Oh, this is vomit. Oh, no. You want a big sticker of it? A sticker of it? Who would want a sticker of this? That would be like something you do to someone you hate. You like go and like stick this up on like someone's house. And then they have to try to get this shit off. Like, actually, that might... No, that one's still awful. Oh. Whoosh. Anyways, and guys, we'll leave off with... I'm just going to leave off with this, which looks terrible. Actually, that might not be as bad as some of the other things he's done. But, yeah, this is... Oh. The many faces of DSP. Oh my god, you can get a sweatshirt with that on it? Oh my god, a sweatshirt. Oh, the horror. The horror. A woman's premium tee. If you want to get divorced, give your wife that. Give your girlfriend that. Give her a DSP yellow faces tee. And I think that'll be a bestseller. And I think people are gonna... I think it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. Anyways, guys, so hope you had fun. I know I did. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good evening, everybody.